Starfield being punished for drug use in Australia, and Marvel's Spider-Man 2 hitting PlayStation 5 much sooner than expected. It's all this and more in today's Weekly Glitch. After a series of delays, Fortnite Creative 2.0 finally went live on Wednesday, fully integrating the Unreal editor for Fortnite into the game. It's very much an evolution of the creative toolset that existed before, only now players have been granted to a whole new range of options that's more in line with what Epic itself uses when it wants to create new game modes and content for Fortnite. Epic itself promised players a whole new world of options when it comes to producing and publishing games, which leads us to believe, what else will we see next come to this crazy crossover game? One thing's for sure though, it's only just the beginning. The Counter-Strike community is being sent into a frenzy right now, with all signs pointing towards Valve releasing a CSGO Source 2 beta as early as the end of this month. By the time you're hearing this, you may already even be playing it. Rumors started as soon as industry insider Richard Lewis went on his blog to say, yes, Counter-Strike 2 is real and it's round the corner. Despite the slight discrepancy in name, the most popular of Counter-Strike being played today is Counter-Strike Source, so the sequel being called Counter-Strike Source 2 seems like a safe bet. Combine Lewis's comments alongside some significant changes to the official CSGO Twitter account's banner, and well, it seems like all bets are on. If you thought your space adventure within Starfield was going to be squeaky clean and hopeful, well, you might want to think again. The Australian Classification Board recently awarded Starfield with its highest restricted rating, R18+, indicating that this Bethesda game is seemingly more mature in nature than previous Bethesda titles. Games like Skyrim and Fallout 4 previously only garnered an M15+ rating in Australia, despite the pretty mature content in both of those games. However, Starfield received the higher rating in Australia primarily because of its depiction of drug use, which is said to be high impact in nature. In what capacity drugs will feature in Starfield isn't exactly known at this point, but it's enough to prevent the Australian government from wanting to sell the game to anyone under the age of 18. Microsoft's attempted $69 billion acquisition of Activision Blizzard continues to make news headlines. However, this week the Xbox giant weighed in to say what many of us players were already thinking. 10 years is more than enough time for Sony to develop a Call of Duty competitor on PlayStation. Microsoft recently told UK regulators this in an attempt to dissuade Sony's claim that Call of Duty is quote-unquote irreplaceable. And let's be honest, they're not wrong. If Sony really is that bothered about losing access to Call of Duty in 10 years' time, then I don't know, they could tap into the experience of, say, another FPS specialist studio like Bungie, which it now owns. Sony has remained radio silent about everything Marvel's Spider-Man 2 pretty much since they announced it a few years ago. However, thanks to recent comments on Twitter from Venom voice actor Tony Todd, we may finally now have an actual release window, and it's sooner than you think. Looks like September, he said in response to a fan question, which news outlet VGC also corroborates is the release window that they've heard from their sources too. If this is true and that Marvel's Spider-Man 2 is expected to release on PlayStation 5 this September, then that leads us to question, what else has PlayStation got cooked up for the holiday release window? With God of War Ragnarok and Horizon Forbidden West recently released last year, there's very little else known about what's coming from PlayStation's first-party studios for the rest of the year, beyond Spider-Man 2. They must have something planned for November, right? Either way, we'll continue swinging along as one of those Spider-Men for as long as we have to. And that just about does it for today's Weekly Glitch. Be sure to tune back again next week for another round of gaming news goodness. Until then, be healthy and stay playing.